Monty Python is one of the greatest comedy teams since the war, but the cancel culture has come for even them. Now, I told you last week that one of the Pythons, Terry Gilliam, has now been banned from directing a musical in London after saying he was actually a black lesbian in transition because he didn't want to be blamed for stuff as a white man. And now John Cleese is in the trenches. He was meant to give a speech at Cambridge University, its student union, but he cancelled, saying that although he was looking forward to talking to the Cambridge Union, he had heard that someone there had been blacklisted for doing an impersonation of Hitler. And he said, "I regret that I did the same on a Monty Python show," which I'll show you soon. "So I am blacklisting myself before someone else does." And it is true that Cambridge Union did cancel an art critic who gave a presentation damning Adolf Hitler for banning what Hitler had called decadent art. And in his presentation, this art critic pretended to be Hitler, saying bad stuff, which at the time the Cambridge Union boss, the president, you'll see him behind the speaker wearing a crown, seemed to think all this was fine.
This modern, horrible art that was promoted by the Jews.
Thank you, Andrew, for what I must say is perhaps the longest Hitler impression this chamber has ever received. A remarkable accomplishment for tonight.
But then you know how it goes. Some students then said how offensive it is, this guy pretending to be Hitler, attacking Jews, saying bad things about Africans. And now that same student union boss is going to create a whole blacklist now of speakers never to be invited back, and he will share it with other student unions too. And said Andrew, this art critic, he's going to be on that list. And now John Cleese has said, well, put me on that list too, in protest. Because as he said, John Cleese has also pretended to be a Nazi in one of the most famous episodes of Fawlty Towers.
Who's this then? Stuff you, but I'll do that for any more. You can't. I'm trying to cheer her up, you stupid crowd.
Joining me is Mark Latham, former federal Labor leader and now One Nation leader in the New South Wales Parliament. Mark, neither of us obviously should be laughing about this because it's too dangerous now, but what do you make of even the University Student Club now issuing blacklists to be circulated to other clubs and including on an art historian who is actually criticising Hitler?
Well, Andrew, don't mention the war. The reality is that Adolf Hitler, prior to World War I, worked as an artist. We're not going to cancel all the artists out there, are they? Because Hitler had that occupation before he became a corporal in the German army in World War I. You know, this cancel culture is ridiculous, although John Cleese has set a new precedent, hasn't he? Preemptive cancelling of yourself. Get in and drop yourself before they kick you out. So that's probably an inspiration for you and me and others who are targeted with this rubbish. But, you know, the whole thing of impersonating Hitler, quite frankly, we should welcome Hitler impersonators like we've just seen on the screen, because it throws comedy and ridicule and humiliation at this evil bastard Adolf Hitler. That's a positive thing. And the other thing it says is that the easiest way for humanity to ever repeat the evil of the Third Reich is to forget that it ever existed, to cancel it out of the history pages, the artistic critiques, the whole lot, the comedy shows, Fawlty Towers, just clear it right out of everything. And if you do that, if you forget, then you're most likely to repeat the errors. So a reminder of the evils of Adolf Hitler in comedy or serious format, I think, is a useful service to our civilisation.
Yeah, but a number of great comedians will now be cancelled too for impersonating Hitler. I mean, Charlie Chaplin for a start.